After the pandemic, I presumed it would be much easier today. I presumed that because people had been locked up for such a long time, I presumed the men would be like rats out of a cage. They would want to date people. They would want to go on dates, etc. I've actually found that men have become more comfortable being on their own. The opposite is true. And I think one of the main reasons for this, obviously this is completely my opinion. I'm not an evolutionary scientist. This is just my belief, perspective. I think society is geared for men to be on their own. There's almost more ways a man can be on his own. We have the whole online gaming community. Men can happily spend hours and hours playing video games, not interacting with people. Then we have the side of the internet, which is obviously pornography, where men can spend however many hours they want on pornography, feeding that sexual itch that they have. And then we have the whole online streaming service of Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., where people can spend hours and hours watching TV. Because technology is primarily designed by men, a lot of it is obviously geared to men and geared to men's tastes. And even when I watch Netflix, I find apart from like the chick flicks that I'll sometimes watch and dip in and out of, a lot of TV programs are still designed for men by men. And I'm finding that men almost don't have that need to find someone because all of their social inclusion needs are met by technology, basically, which is quite scary because it leaves women in a place where they feel, what is happening to all these men that are choosing to tap out of society? They're choosing to stay at home alone rather than going on a date with women. There almost isn't a safe place for women to retreat into. En masse, we don't have the online gaming. We don't really have the pornography that we can delve into. You're going to get the niche porn that is designed for women, but if you look at the majority of porn online, it is for men, designed by men. It's not female friendly at all. And I'm going to like stick my neck on the line here basically and say, I think a lot of it is down to pornography. If we lived in a society where we did not have pornography, you would not see this stagnation of the male, because the male would have to go out and get a female and date a female to fulfill his sexual urges, basically. I think what porn does is it gives males the opportunity to see a variety of different women and different body shapes that they would not see in real life. If you think in the past of a man that would have access to these types of women and lots of women, it would be someone of immense power, like a king, etc. The average man would not have access to as many women. They can potentially see thousands of women that are incredibly attractive. And even going to the times before, men would have to seek out porn by, going to like a backstreet shop somewhere and buy like one video or a magazine or whatever, because men are so exposed to all these different types of women that in the real world they would not be able to see naked, because these women would not be attracted to these men. And what is happening is, because men are exposed to all these women, they are finding the average woman does not cut it, because they've been so exposed to these women. For some men, if they're in that building phase of their life where they're building their career and they feel, my career is important, this is what society tells me. Society tells me I need to make money to find a female, so they're just focused on their career and they have their weekend. They don't really have time for a relationship because society tells them your career is more important than relationship and you need to earn money to get a female. So how do they scratch that itch? Just through pornography, and then they'll go out with their mates, etc., and have fun. Or instead of using pornography, they'll go and they'll use a dating app and just have a one-night stand and fulfill that sexual need they have. We're left in a place where this is incredibly bad for women, and it is honestly quite damaging for women. And I think pornography is part of the problem that's created this. What I think pornography has done is it has raised the bar for females, basically, and we're finding it impossible to meet the standards of men. Men will call me average, and it's because men have just completely lost their sense of reality and what a woman should look like. They see me as average because they are comparing me to Instagram models. They are comparing me to people that have had all their pubic hair lasered off. They are comparing me to women who are having sex for money and not pleasure. And some men can't switch between the two. And they're almost disappointed in the normal woman. I'm not trying to be Mary Whitehouse here. I'm not trying to tell men don't watch porn, etc. There is ethical pornography that is being made now, apparently. I personally do not think it's liberating for a woman to be having sex with multiple men for money. It's not helping women. And I've said this before in my videos, but I'm obviously lucky in the fact that I date men that are older, that understand women. You're getting much younger women in their 20s that are dating men that think it's appropriate to choke them the first time they have sex and not even ask. This is where it becomes dangerous, because this is when porn stops being something that men watch for gratification and it turns into an instruction manual for young men, and it turns into something that is changing culture and changing the way men behave. And that's when it becomes dangerous, when it stops being something that men will watch as just a release and becomes something much more dangerous. And half the reason I do my videos is so young women can watch my videos and see the potential of what men can be like. Some men out there are being instructed via the internet, they're being instructed via pornography, and you have to be wary of that.